Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy M.K.S here. I hope everyone's well wherever you are. As ever, I welcome comments on this video. Any ideas or suggestions you have, please leave in the comment section. But yeah, I thought I'd make this video although it's past 1 o'clock in the morning here in the UK, I couldn't really sleep and have too much tea at night. So I was a bit bored and I'm not really tired enough to sleep. So I thought I'd make this video, as I often do, about Italian football. As I mentioned before on this channel, I'm a big fan of Italian football and Celtic. In fact, one of the reasons why I wear this top is it reminds me of Celtic. But anyway, yeah, so I thought I'd talk about some of my dreams for Italian football and that sort of thing. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it out there, especially fans of football, but as many people as possible. And as ever, I welcome your likes, shares, views, and whatever else you can do to support this channel. And hopefully, if my channel grows, if and when it ever grows, I'll do a lot of good charitable work for people in developing countries as well. So yeah, I'll say one of my guilty pleasures or biases. I know it's not the most ethical country or the most ethical football league or whatever. Doesn't have the most ethical teams necessarily, but because I supported them ever since I was young, as I mentioned before, again a while back, because I think I look Italian or whatnot. But anyway, I've mentioned that story before, so maybe in the future I'll mention it again in more detail. But yeah, so I would love for Italian football teams to have the best possible, or the wealthiest possible, richest possible, whatever, owners and sponsors, sponsorship deals and things like that, which will hopefully attract the best possible managers and coaches. I'd love to see people like Pep Guardiola, who played in Italy before, apparently a while back. I think he played for Empoli. I'd love to see him come back and coach or manage a team in Italy, and whatever team that may be. Obviously, I imagine Serie A, and bring that style of play to Italian football, which would be pretty cool. I often wonder how come Italy can't develop or haven't developed a style quite like Spain, which is only next door, and it's another Mediterranean country, and the way they develop tiki-taka football. I think it'd be great to see Italy play football like that, perhaps, and a bit more attacking and entertaining. And I also think it'd be great to develop younger players. But yeah, so I'd love to see the best possible, the wealthiest possible, richest possible owners and sponsorship deals, the best possible sponsorship deals, and people having shares and equity. As I talked before about the biggest companies in the world, like Fortune 500 companies, Amazon, Apple, ExxonMobil, and different companies like that. It'd be a bit difficult from an ethical point of view, because I don't support their wars or things like that. If they make money for more, things like that. But I might keep quiet about those things. But yeah, so I probably should keep my trap shut about that sort of stuff. But yeah, I would love to see them. Maybe they could invest in Italian football instead of wars and things like that. But yeah, I'd say I'd love to see the wealthiest or richest possible owners, sponsors, sponsorship deals, the best possible sponsorship deals, and hopefully again that'll bring in managers like, I'd love to see Pep, as I say, Pep Guardiola, and people like that, even Thomas Tuchel perhaps, or people like that, and some of the best managers in the world coming to Italy, and also some of the best players, most importantly perhaps, or just as importantly, yeah, I'd love to see Zidane as well coming to coach and be an ambassador for Juventus, where he used to play for Juventus. So I think it'd be great to see him coming back to coach or manage, or at least in some capacity, give some advice about his experiences of winning the Champions League, so he can help Juventus to do better in that competition, and to do better generally, just as he did with Real Madrid, which he also used to play for at some point. And I think it just feels so right to see him. It would feel so right to see him back at Juventus, I'll say, as a coach and ambassador and things like that, or a manager even, and maybe working with the youth and things like that. So I'd love to see former players like that who have played in Serie A, whether Italian or they're Italian or from overseas. And I'd also love to see the national team working with club teams as well as Celtic, like the Italian national team and Italian club teams, even at lower levels, and the youth and Celtic. And the Celtic youth and B teams and things like that, working together, like sharing ideas, and maybe in the future the Italian national team could visit Celtic as well, and vice versa. So when people are able to travel, hopefully in the future, I hope, we pray. But yeah, so but yeah, I'd love to see the best overseas players, but also investment in the youth and youth academies and Italians to practice and play football as much as possible, so that they can so that we can develop better players for the future as well. So not just having older players, a mix of experience and youth, but yeah, so having more football academies and opportunities, footballs in schools and parks, and Italian politicians and councillors, maybe even rival politicians, working together to encourage more younger players to get into football and things like that. And I'd also love to see Italian football do more for like to improve the relations with the rest of the world, like developing countries, and like having academies in different countries as well as sports clubs, and again improving relations through football. Maybe again like if and when travel is safe in the future or more permissible, then Italian teams could go and travel to those countries and like practice and play football together, improve relations between them and different countries in Asia and Africa and around the world. And just as the E.P.L, the English Premier League, does like to market itself, I think it'd be great to see Italian teams and Celtic do that. And Lost my train of thought, but yeah. So I say I think it'd be great to see that investment and to see Italian football teams competing again. But I think not just buying older players, or especially from overseas, but also developing young Italian players as well, and developing young players from overseas as well. So both it can benefit the national team and also the future of teams like AC Milan, Inter Milan, Juventus, Roma, and teams like that. And I'd also love to have a committee or think tank to or cooperative or whatever, or even summits that or events in the future, perhaps again if it's safe to travel, where investment into Italian football is encouraged. And I'd love to see Italian football improve ethics, like look at what it can stand for, and like discourage smoking, drinking, drug taking, law breaking, hooliganism, or things like or anything that about breaking the law or unhealthy diets or stuff like that. So it can improve people's diets and ways of life. It discourage people from smoking, drinking, or drug taking again, or anti-record drug taking, or breaking the law. And I think it'd be great if older players taught younger players what they know, and were encouraged to get involved in coaching for the good of the game, like Italians to come together and support each other to coach for the future. And the ultras, anti-record football hooligans. I'm not sure if ultra means football hooligan, or it's just like people who are passionate about the team and like have choreography and things like that. But I think sometimes it means football hooligans, but I'm not sure if it always means that. But yeah, so I think those football hooligans, instead of being hooligans, could be encouraged to, although they might not all be good at football, but they could be encouraged to pass on any knowledge they have of football to younger players, so it can train them. So instead of hooliganism, they practice playing football more. I know that's a bit idealistic of me, but yeah, so I hope I didn't waffle too much. And as ever, I'd love to hear your comments about my quirky ideas, and I'm out. Peace and love.